Okay, so we are going to write linear equations. Writing linear equations. All right. So to write the equation of a line, you only need to know two things. Just two and two only. You need to know the slope, which of course is the m, and therefore in the little blue box we'll put the m where the m goes, right? And then grab your green and the y-intercept, which of course is the b, and we'll stick the b over here where it goes. So we've done patterns before with absolute value. We've done patterns with direct and inverse variation. Now we have a pattern for a linear function, and it's slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So again, that's really a key formula. You got to have it in your mind. You got to be aware of it. And we're going to use y equals mx plus b to write the equation of linear functions. We only need two things. X and y stay in the function. So we need the value of them. We need the value of b. There are basically four ways this question can be asked. So we need to go through the four different possibilities. Possibility number one is really easy. All right, you get the idea it's easy? All right, so this is number two is four types of problems. Believe it or not, the first one is when given the slope and the y-intercepts. Folks, it doesn't get any easier than that. What two things do we need to write the equation of a line? Slope and the y-intercept. What are they giving us? Well, as long as we know y equals mx plus b, this is pretty easy. All right? Look, they said, hey, the slope is negative 3/7, and the y-intercept is 2. So just for clarity's sake, remember, this is all going into y equals mx plus b, right? So you know what? Where the m is, put in negative 3/7. And where the b is, put in positive 2. Gee, that was hard. So 10 of these on the test, right? Next Thursday, 10 of these. Be too boring. I would bore you to death. You would fall asleep during the test. It would be boring. It would be boring. You would love it. It's Christmas time. Maybe I'll give you 2. All right, so do this next one. Write the equation of the line if m equals 32 and the line goes to the point 0.04. Go ahead and do that one. Write the equation of that line. WTEOTL is my abbreviation for write the equation of the line. Oh, let me give you a hint. Forgot your hint. Here you go. There you go. Needed your hint. There's the hint. Done yet? How many are done? Because you all said, oh, they gave me the slope. They even said m. Did they give us the y-intercept? We just spent all the homework saying, when the x is 0, the number is the y-intercept. Yeah, they gave us the y-intercept. Y equals 32x plus 4. How many got that right? Oh, you brainiacs. See, math is so easy. It is just so easy. All right, that's scenario number one. And look, just don't get thrown off when they don't say the y-intercept is, but they say the 0.04. Hey, that's the y-intercept. Okay. Second scenario. The second scenario is when given the slope of the line, when given the graph of the line. Okay. You're given the graph of the line. Okay, so once again, as soon as they tell me, and again, the question would be like this: write the equation of the line for the given graph. Whenever they say write the equation of the line, you think y equals mx plus b. You should immediately think y equals mx plus b. That should be your first thought whenever they say write the equation of the line. All right, we need two things. We need the slope, we need the y-intercept. Somebody raise their hand and give me one of them. Andrew. So what are you giving me? So tell me what to do.
-2 in for b.
Perfect. All right. Do you agree that the y-intercept is 0, -2, therefore the b is -2? Do you concur? And Andrew says put -2 in for the b. I agree. All right. We're halfway there, right? 50% done. Who can finish it? Kaylin? Just tell me what you want me to put in.
4.
How many agree with Kaylin? 4/3 for the slope. You could be all the correct ones. Here's what Kaylin did. She found another clear point, which was that one. She said, how do I get from -2 to there? She says, I go up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I go to the right. 1, 2, 3. Up is positive. Right is positive. It's 4/3, and I am positive. Hey, that's not too hard, right? Now, just focus, look at me for a moment. We're not going to do one right now because we have to learn something first. Every once in a blue moon, you'll get a problem like this. Don't do this. I just want you to think. Now, we can clearly see the slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1/4, right? But what's the y-intercept? And that one's probably not the best example because you could probably guess that it's, whoa, come back, wherever you are. Where was I, right there? No, there? No, there? Help, I'm lost. I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up. That's when you need the clapper. No, lifeline. Let me give you one other one. I do a little bit better here. Let's stick it here. So now our slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1/5. But we're not really sure what the y-intercept is, right, on that one. So in that kind of situation, when they give you the graph, we've got to treat it a little bit differently than the easier one where we can clearly read the y-intercept. We can clearly read the slope. I'll come back to this one in a moment, okay? All right, so let's go to the next page. Third scenario. When given the slope and just a point on the line, and the point on the line is not the y-intercept, okay? So you're given the slope and a point on the line that is not the y-intercept. All right, now, I must tell you at this point, there is a formula called the point slope formula. I'm sure the book uses it. Students like it. Here again is my general philosophy. Formulas are only good if you remember them. The more formulas you have, the more you have to remember, and the higher probability of forgetting. Does that make sense? So you can use the point slope formula if you want. Feel free. I'm fine with that. But it's another formula you got to remember, and you got to get it right, and you got to know how to use it. In actuality, we don't need it. We're actually going to use y equals mx plus b to find the b. And then we're going to sub it back into y equals mx plus b. That sounds strange. But it's a formula we already know. It's what we're already thinking to solve this kind. So we're going to use it to help us find the b, so we can put in the m and the b. All right, so again, if you want to use point slope, knock yourself out. Just understand that that's my philosophy. You got one more thing now you got to remember, and the probability is you're going to forget. And you cannot forget y equals mx plus b. And that gets reviewed a zillion times. You know the only time the point slope formula comes up? Like once in a blue moon, and you won't see me using it at all. All right, so use y equals mx plus b to find the value of b. And get this. And then use y equals mx plus b to write the equation of the line. We're going to use what we already know. Pretty easy. All right, so let's do an example like this. Write the equation of the line when the slope is 4 and it goes through the point -1, 7. Okay, so let's start off with our y equals mx plus b. Do you agree the m is a 4? So let's put the 4 in for the m. Let's use a little color here. On our point, what does the -1 represent? Why don't we stick -1 in for the x? What does the 7 represent? Not the y-intercept. Only when the x is 0. Is the x 0? No, the 7 represents the y-coordinate, right? It's the girl that guy -1 is dating. Did a good job. Negative guy got a 7 girl. All right, so the 7 is in for the y. Do you see how we have an equation now where we only have one variable? Can't we solve an equation with only one variable? Very easily, right? Isolate the variable. So what are you going to do? You're going to add a positive 4 to both sides, correct? To move the 4? Because 4 times -1 is -4, right? Add a positive 4 to both sides to move it. And now you have 11 equals b. Ha! Guess what? We have the m. We have the b. We can write the equation of the line. Y equals 4x plus 11. So again, you can use the point slope formula if you want, but it's so much easier and less to remember using y equals mx plus b. Okay, so let me go back a moment. You see how now on this problem here, the purple one, we have the slope, but we don't have the y-intercept, but we do have a point, right? We have tons of points. And all I need to do is choose one of the points, put in the x value of the point for x, put in the y value of the point for y, put in our slope that we found to be 1/5 for m, and solve for b. Now I know m, now I know b, now I write the equation of the line. Good? That's how you do it. Okay, I think there's one more. Is there one more of this kind? Yeah, one more. All right, why don't you guys try this one? I'm going to pause the video. So see if you can apply what we just did. Write the equation of the line when the slope is 2/3 and it goes through the point 2, -5. Oh no, fractions. All you fraction phobia people. 2/3 x plus 11/3. Fractions, no big deal. How do you add them? Get a common denominator, add the numerators, put them over the common denominator. That's a lot to remember. Oh boy, so much. Get a common denominator, add the numerators, put them over the common denominator. Okay. Again, if you are still fractionally challenged, you got to get over it. And you got to get on the internet and start working fraction problems and get it done, because fractions are way too easy. And again, we spent all our time on them in pre-algebra, and time now to roll on. All right, fourth scenario. What if you're only given 2 points on the line? So in this last scenario, all you're given is 2 points that are along the line. That's all you're given. Now, folks, what 2 things do we need to know? Slope and the... Can you find either one of them if you know 2 points? What one can you find if you know 2 points? Ethan? And how?
The y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 2.
Did you hear him? Didn't we already do problems where m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1? The slope formula of 2 points? Because we're given 2 points. Use the slope formula to find the value of m, the slope, right? Hey, guess what? Once you have the value of m, you have m and 2 points. How in the world are you going to find b? Just like we did a minute ago, right? So, okay, we have an extra point. Big deal. Oh, which one do I use? I don't know. Is it this one or that one, this one or that one, this one or that? Which one do I use? I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? Which one do I use? Which point? Which one? I got to know. Raquel, I've got to know which one. What point? Which one? There's 2. Which one? Alexandra, which one do I use? Abby, which one? There's 2. Help me. Which one do I use? Either, of course, either, right? They're both on the line. Either one, whichever one your little heart desires, all right? Whichever your little heart desires. You have an extra one. So that's the situation. All right, so first use m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Find the value of a. Then use, here we go again, y equals mx plus b to find the value of b. And then use, what goes in that last blank? Y equals mx plus b to write the equation of the line. So the only difference is we got to use the slope formula first on this one, right? To get the slope. Okay, so here's the example. Write the equation of the line. If the line goes through the points, -1, 3, 4, -2. So again, on this one, usually first off I'm thinking y equals mx plus b because it's write the equation of the line, right? That's my first thought. Do you concur? Next is I say, hey, I need to get the slope. So m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now I will remind you guys, I advised you to say x of 0.1, y of 0.1, x of 0.2, y of 0.2. So when we do the y's, y sub 2 is a -2, negative from the formula, y sub 1 is a 3. Now a few of you, be careful on the bottom, you're still making this same mistake. On the bottom, x of 2 is a 4, agreed? But now you have to put the negative of the formula and then the -1. And some of you are forgetting the negative of the formula when that second coordinate is negative. Don't make that mistake. You'll goof everything up. Okay, so that's a plus. So what do we end up with? -5 over 5. Cool. Therefore, our slope is, -1. Here, I'll write it out. -5 over 5. Therefore, it's a -1. Okay. Somebody tell me what to do next. John? Okay, so the -1. Okay, what else? All right, let him think. So I got the -1 in for m. What are you after, John? What are you trying to find right now? Nope, you're not trying to find the x. Andrew? Not trying to find the y. Connor? We're trying to find b right now, right? We know m. We had to find m, and we know it. Now we got to find b, right? So how do I find b? How do I find b? Josh? Okay, so let me go. So do you want me to still use his -1? Okay, just want to make sure, right? So again, look, we're using y equals mx plus b. The -1 was the m. The -1 is the x of 0.1. Josh said the 3 for the y of 0.1 plus b, right? We are now going to find the b value. So here, to help some of you, this is number 1, find m. And then this here is number 2, find b, right? First we had to find m. Now we have to find b. Okay, negative and -1 is a positive 1. So add a -1 to the other side. Agreed? And we can all do that in our head. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 2 is b. So I'm done? Is that all I do now? How do I finish it? Should I leave my final answer like that? What should I do to clean it up and show that I'm excellent? Alexandra? Yeah, we just don't do the one thing, right? Because we're going to show that we're really, we really got it down. Right. But yeah, the slope is a -1. We'll just, no need to have the 1, and we'll just go. All right, what do we got left? So here is all that summarized one more time, right? It's what we just wrote. This is just a repeat. So when you got to find it for 2 points, use the slope formula, use y equals mx plus b to find b, and then sub it in. All right, so with our last bunch of minutes, do this last example problem. See if you can do it yourself. I'm going to pause the video. All right, on 3, if you got it, give me your answer. 1, 2, 3. A little unconfident there, aren't you? Y equals 6/5 x minus 13/5. How many got that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you. All right, very good. And if you didn't find your mistake, I tried to do just about every step for you. How many got 6/5 for the slope? Okay, all right, almost all of you. You got to get that right, correct? If you miss the slope, you're going to miss the problem. Then again, I mean, don't let the fractions get you. If you use 3 and 1, this is 18 over 5. So add a -18/5 to both sides. Get a common denominator, 5 over 5. Rule step, 5 minus 18/5. -13/5 is the b, right? That's not so tough. All right, so let me just use a moment here and recap with you guys. When you write the equation of the line, the key is y equals mx plus b. Focus now. Focus in the review. I'm trying to wire your brain, okay? You got to make the connections. All right, so remember, there's 4 ways this can happen. Way number 1, real easy. They give you the m, they give you the b. Whoopee! And remember, they could give you the b with the coordinate 0, whatever, all right? Second way, they could give you the graph. Actually, in the graph, you could read both b and m right off of it. You're ready to roll. Second scenario, you could read m, but you have to figure out b using y equals mx plus b. Third situation, they give you the slope and a point on the line. Many use the point slope formula, but you can use y equals mx plus b to get b, and then sub it in for m and b. Last scenario, just 2 points. Use the slope formula to get the slope first. Use one of the points with y equals mx plus b to get the second point. Voila. All right, off you go.